Hi guys, Jessica here, Eagle Creek's resident travel junkie, and I've got a question for you. Have you done the hostel thing yet? Well, there has never been a better time, so today I'm going to give you a quick rundown of why you should try it out, what to expect, how to actually book your hostel, and what you should bring. All right, so let's get into it. Why should you stay at a hostel? Well, first thing, if you like people, why not put yourself in the center of all of it? You're gonna meet people from all over the world, and I think that's one of the most memorable pieces of travel. Also, money. If you don't mind being in shared quarters, definitely try out the hostel thing because it means that you'll be able to save your money on doing things like experiencing different pieces of the culture. And then lastly, go ahead and think of a hostel as like a mini tourism center. Hostels like to bring together a list of experiences or things to do in the city, so think things like soccer games or farmers markets, tango shows. They want to make sure you have a great time when visiting because they want to receive a great review from you when you leave. So how do we even book a hostel? Well, there are so many online resources available to you nowadays. I really like booking.com, but again, so many options. Now, while I used to like to kind of meander into a town and find a spot to stay, I now really enjoy booking online beforehand because it just ensures that I'm gonna have a spot to stay for the entire length of my stay. Plus, it's great to check out the online reviews. All right, so what to consider when you're booking? First thing, AC or heat. Do you want either one? Those can be really lovely to have. Also, your room will have a locker for your stuff. The question is whether or not there's a lock built in, they're gonna give you a lock, or you need to provide your own. Also, a safety deposit box. Some hostels provide even more security so that you can go ahead and stash with them, like your passport or any of your higher value items. Now, I definitely don't recommend bringing tons of cash or really nice jewelry, but it's nice to have a little extra peace of mind if that's something you're looking for. Is there a kitchen? This is going to be important if you want to take advantage of the local grocery stores and make yourself a home-cooked meal. The bathroom situation. Usually you've got a shared bathroom situation in hostels. The question is it in your room or is it down the hall? Do you want a gender-specific room? Do you want it to be girls only or guys only? Or are you okay with the next option? They're both going to be available. Now, typically, larger rooms with, say, 6 to 8 beds are going to be cheaper than staying at a spot that has, say, 2 to 4. Many hostels maintain their inexpensive prices by putting a bunch of people into bunk beds. If you don't like the top bunk, make sure you request the bottom bunk before you actually book. And then if you're totally anti-bunk beds, know that there are options, but they're more limited, so they're going to tend to be a little bit more expensive. And then warning. You never know who's gonna be in your room, and I've heard some stories about there being some crazy makeout sessions happening in the bunk below. Totally not cool, but you're the one taking the gamble. Another thing to consider is breakfast. Do you want a free breakfast? This is an option at some hostels. Just find out what time. And then booze. Do you want there to be a bar at your hostel? It's pretty fun, but it does tend to mean that it can sometimes get a little bit rowdier. Another thing is that some hostels offer pickup from the airport. Generally, it's a little bit more expensive than taking a taxi or an Uber, but if you want the peace of mind and you want to know exactly where you're going, I kind of think it's worth it. And on that note, if you haven't already, make sure you download WhatsApp, Viber, or another type of calling text app so that you're able to communicate with your hostel as soon as you get there, should something come up. All right, things I recommend bringing for your hostel stay. First one is bring a travel pack. Now, while you could bring wheels, a travel pack is just gonna fit much easier in your locker, and that means more security for you. Also, I recommend packing whatever you decide to bring with a packing system. That's gonna help you fit more in less space and stay organized. Now, I know I already mentioned this, but if you bring yourself a luggage lock, that is gonna be great for just doubling as a lock to help you lock your locker in your room. Next thing, super critical, flip-flops. I actually forgot these last time I stayed at the hostel and was majorly grossed out. You're gonna want these for the shower, so don't be like me and forget these. Make sure you remember. Also, not a towel. You heard me right. Don't bring a towel. Most hostels will allow you to go ahead and rent one of these for a small deposit, and then when you return the towel at the end of your stay, you get that money back. Bring your sleep stuff. I'm talking earplugs, eye mask, anything to block everything out. People are gonna be coming home at 5 a.m. from the bars. They're gonna be leaving to catch a flight at 6 a.m. So bring what you need to make sure you get your sleep. And guys, that wraps up my tips. If you have more tips for fellow travelers, please leave those in the comments below. In conclusion, sometimes people ask me if there's an age limit on staying in hostels. My answer is no, not really. I mean, you run into a lot of younger traveler students and such, but I meet people of all ages. And really, it's the travel connection that binds us, so chances are you're gonna meet some really cool people out there on the road. So, when you check in, meet people, say hi, invite them to dinner, dancing, tours, whatever. The coolest part about hosteling is creating community on the road. So, enjoy hostel life and happy travels, friends.